peaceful afternoon, I picked up from my mailbox the strangest looking letter I'd ever seen. A chilling little envelope bordered with flying bats and eerie serpents whose eyes were tinted green. The letter was addressed to me, so as I opened it, I froze. What I read turned my complexion 3 shades of blue. It said, "My name is Isaac Horowitz. I'm a male witch, a warlock, and I feel I need to spend some time with you." Now, as a Christian from a little church with God's call on my life, a man of faith and power with a challenge to grow, I did what any saint would do in my situation. I tore it up, said, "Lord, no way I'm gonna go." Then gently and methodically, the Holy Spirit spoke and reminded me we're God's voice to our nation. It's the church's responsibility to witness. So reluctantly, I accepted this witch's invitation. He had the house you'd expect, the old English cottage, a Nightmare on Elm Street special right to the core. The overgrown ivy, the gate that creaked when opened. Somehow you'd expect Freddy to answer his door. The doorbell rang a hollow gong, the knob twisted then opened, and Isaac stood before me with a grin. His jet black hair and well-trimmed beard flowed with his black silk clothes. My skin crawled as he said, "Please, come on in." His house was filled with every occultic symbol you could fathom. Hanging pentagrams and horoscope signs, a Ouija board and Dungeons and Dragons games set on the table, a crystal ball with an incandescent shine. Then graciously he handed me some steaming herbal tea. Its presence caused my memory to jog. I thought of every horror flick I'd seen when I was a kid and thought, man, you drink this stuff, next day you'll be a frog. Then he led me to a high-back chair as he meticulously began to unfold his scenario with evil patience. I was given a giant leather-bound book jammed with newspaper clippings, thus the reason for this witch's invitation. With eagerness, he pointed to each article with pride. He said, "I healed this woman through a Babylonian chant. You see, this man, I cured him while performing druid worship. I was paid to curse this man with AIDS by his aunt." On and on, page after page, delightfully he flaunted each incident for an hour without a breath. He said, "Do you realize through my understanding of the dark regions that I can make you rich or even curse someone to death?" I sat literally intimidated by his immensity and demon power, while his face shone with a satanic arrogant bliss. Then placing his hands on the arms of my chair and leaning into my face, he said, "What can your God do to compete with this?" I knew then how Moses felt when his rod turned to a serpent, and the 3 Egyptian magicians did the same. It's as if you're sitting there in that stunned moment where your faith gets violated, and all you feel is weak, powerless, and lame. I desperately and deeply prayed, saying, "Jesus, give me wisdom. I don't want to put you through some foolish test." Then a shaft of light shot through my soul, igniting my eyes with fire. God stood me up, and I threw the book back in his chest. I said, "Isaac, I'll not compare God's miracles versus Satan's. The issue's not God's kingdom and Satan's lair. The real comparison is the condition of your soul and the condition of mine, and you puppet of the devil, that I will compare." I said, "My friend, one day they're coming for you. The soft associates in your incantations. The friendly demons you think you now control. The time will come when you'll be lying in bed, wheezing like a dying animal, when those spirits lay claim to the rights they own to your soul. Then the room will grow dark, and the most hideous evil faces you've ever seen will come flaming out of the floor with a yell. The vile informants that promised reincarnation will claw your spirit and victoriously drag your soul to hell. Then I grab the book and says, in that moment, which mantra, which incantation are you gonna chant to tell them to leave you alone? I said, my friend, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt what I would say. I am bought with the blood of Jesus. Let me go. I said, Isaac, when you tossed that book in my lap, you gloated with a sinister victory. You rejoiced when you saw your name in black and white. Now I rejoice, but not that your council of demons are subject to Jesus, but that my name is written in the Lamb's book of life. Then Isaac jumped up from his chair and screamed, you must leave now. I says, I will, but one last obligation. Next time, think twice before you rumble with a man of God. And by the way, thanks for your witch's invitation.
Hi guys, so lovely to see you all. I'll just give it a couple of minutes. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done this, so it's nice to be back. Not that I went anywhere. There's so much was going on behind the scenes, obviously. But yeah, it's nice to be back live with you all, because then I feel like I'm connecting. Hi Zoe. Yeah. Oh, lovely welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Rita. I don't feel like it. Oh, you're all so lovely. Instant loving energy coming through the screen. You're all amazing. Thank you so much. Hi, Tracy. I literally would love to just call out all your names, but you know, that would just take me forever and you all sit there being bored. But anyway, it is just so lovely to be back on screen with you guys. Like I say, I didn't disappear. It just wasn't right for a few reasons for me to go live for a little while. So I had to do obviously the right thing, but you know, I will never leave the fight unless I'm taken out. So that won't happen. Yeah, Lindsay, justice is coming. You're absolutely right. Oh, Linny, that's a lovely message. Thank you so much, guys. It's so lovely to just feel this wave of love again. It really is. So I've missed you all. I've really missed this because this was such a lovely way for us to stay connected, wasn't it? You know, so it is really, really good to be here. So I'm not going to beat around the bush, guys. You know me. I don't waste time beating around the bush. There's far too much important stuff going on. But most of you will be aware, if not all of you, but there are obviously so many new followers to SRA page now, you know. Since January, which was going to be our big event, we were actually attacked, let's just leave it at that, by, you know, Satanists. We'll just put it all on in nutshells. So obviously that took its toll, and it was, you know, a risky time because that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? Literally, it's literally the nature of the beast. Exposing satanic ritual abuse comes with great risk. And as a survivor, I am all too aware of that. Many, many survivors of satanic ritual abuse are survivors of the highest caliber of abusers. And you know who I'm talking about. You know that the highest of the high that run our country are Satanists and are running these cults. Oh, Paula, so nice to see you. I've missed you, darling. You know, that are running these cults. It's no great secret now. It's all been exposed, from, you know, politicians to, you know, royalty, you know, the highest of the high, military. You know, we've got a troll in here already, guys. But just, you know, if they actually really feel the need to come and waste their time listening to me when they don't actually are not actually a part of this fight, then let them waste their day. It's you know, it's no bother. Yeah, Amy, exactly. We just leave them to it. So it doesn't come without risk. We know it is a risky business, you know, and we pay the price for it. We do pay the price for it. And I paid a huge price back in January, as did Dom. And we needed some time to recover, obviously, and to just lay low. I found out also since January that there was even more grave danger awaiting for me if I was going to walk back on that land. But I'll leave you to work that out. Anyway, so the point I'm making is SRA is literally the most important and urgent thing on the planet that needs fighting against. The people running our planet are Satanists. So we have to engage in this fight in every which way we can. Now, unfortunately, for survivors like myself, it's been our jobs to expose satanic ritual abuse, because how else was the world going to know? And I believe that's why I lived and survived everything I went through to do what I'm doing now. And I know many other survivors feel the same. But it's a huge, huge thing for us to have to do. And I just really want to never underestimate, or for people, supporters, never to underestimate what we have to put ourselves through to do this. So fast forward now to where we are on the planet after now survivors like myself speaking out and putting ourselves through all kinds of hell, you know, from putting our lives at risk, from having to relive the brutality over and over and over again. Now that's happened, supporters like yourselves that aren't survivors of this, thank goodness, you are doing your bit now. You know, it is incredible, the movement of exposing satanic ritual abuse and how that has grown and grown and grown. Even what I've seen from since I spoke out in May 2020, I did my first public interview, till now, the movement is off the scale. So be inspired, okay, because it is a worldwide movement, because there are victims and survivors of satanic ritual abuse all around the world, all around the world. So there are now supporters all around the world, and the truth is out all around the world, and it is going to grow and grow and grow. And every single time you share a post or another survivor speaks out and shares their stories, their testimonies and their memories, every single time you do that, or you speak to a friend or a neighbor, you know, about satanic ritual abuse, every time it's exposed in whatever shape or form, more light is shed on the darkness. Now, what they depend upon is for everything to remain silent, for us to remain silent. That's their greatest weapon. They've lost that weapon. Yes, it is basically common knowledge now. Absolutely. We've taken their weapons, okay? Silence was their weapon. We've broken it. We've broke through. It's been at great cost to us survivors. But we survived for a reason. And that is to do what we are doing now. If satanic ritual abuse had ended when it ended for all of us survivors now that are, you know, older in life, we wouldn't need to do this. We would just need to expose what they did back then. But the fact that we have to work so hard at doing what we're doing is because it is still going on. And the fact that we have to fight that with the most courage all of us can find is because it's still going on. Okay. Children and babies are still being tortured, raped, and murdered in the name of Satan. So I want you to be inspired by the fact that what we are doing is working. Okay. That light, which is the truth that you are sharing, that you are speaking about, is destroying their darkness. Doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter if you have a religion that you're faithful to, or you have no religion that you're faithful to. None of that matters. It doesn't matter what you agree on and disagree on with people, you know, with what's going on in the world. None of that matters. What matters is satanic ritual abuse needs to be destroyed. And we are doing it. It is happening. And it is going to happen. We are going to win. And we are pretty close. Pretty close. Which is why people like myself get attacked by Satanists or their minions or just the stupid people that have got nothing better to do than sit behind keyboards and attack people. They're all working for Satan one way or another, whether knowingly or unknowingly. The only thing we all need to focus on are the children and what is happening to them. And when that stops, we can rest and we can rebuild and we can bring the light down onto this planet. And that process is happening because you cannot extinguish light with darkness. You cannot, but you can absolutely expose darkness with light. Okay, if you walk into a dark room and light one match, that room will become light. So keep on doing what you are doing. Keep on sharing every bit of information that you can find about satanic ritual abuse. All the knowledge is out there now. Survivors have had the courage to name their abusers, their handlers, the most powerful people on this planet. They have been named by survivors. They're the people that we're going to take down. Don't underestimate our power. Satanic ritual abuse survivors are very powerful people. They didn't target us for no reason. They wanted our light. Amongst many other things, by the way, but that's whole other conversations. But they wanted our light. But we survived. And we kept that light. And now we're using that light to fight back. But it takes courage every single day to get up and do this. So if you as supporters are ever sitting at home feeling, what can I do? You know, that frustration, I hear that so often. What can I do to help? Do what you're doing, you know, reach out to a survivor, check in on them. Are you okay today? You know, thank you for what you're doing. All this is so helpful, but just share everything we do and talk about everything we do. That light, every single word, every single written word, spoken word, post that's shared, remember it's light. And just visualize the planet where it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. The darkness has reigned over this planet. They stole this planet for a very, very long time. And a great amount of that darkness lives underground. There's a whole world underneath this planet. A whole other world is underneath you. When you're walking out in the streets, in the cities, there's a whole other city underneath you. But our light is reaching it. Okay? Our light is reaching it. So just keep going. Be inspired by the fact that we are winning. And I can promise you this without any hesitation. We do win. We do win. It is written. I've seen it. Okay, I'm just going to say this because I cannot allow this to be said here. Styliana, forgive me if I've not pronounce that correctly. David Icke is one of them. He is not a good guy. He's a Satanist. And I know firsthand survivors of him. Okay. He is a really, really evil Satanist. So what you need to learn more about, and I'm just going to do this as a little aside, guys, because I know a lot of you actually understand this. There is a thing called the Satanic Law. The Satanic Law is what they have to obey. Now, part of that law is they have to tell the world what they're doing. Okay? That includes recruiting people like David Icke. He is chosen. He was chosen. Yeah, Sharon, trust your instincts. He was chosen a long time ago to be the person to do the Satanic Law side of telling the world the truth. How do you think he knows all of what he knows? Just think about it on a common sense level for a minute, okay? How do you think he knows all of that? Because let me tell you, as a survivor of a satanic cult and having been raised in satanic cults, you don't know this stuff unless you've been on the inside of it. He's not getting downloads from the heavens at all. So just question that. There's so much common sense that people override because they don't want to believe it, or, you know, there's so much programming that's gone on in the world. There's so many people that are programmed and they don't even know it. So to be very clear, David Icke is a Satanist. He's a Freemason of the highest order. He's obeying the Satanic Law. Now, next time you see his face, have a good look. Because I'll tell you something else about Icke. He's a shapeshifter. He's one of the darkest. Okay? There's a whole list of these people, guys, and we can get into this on another time. But thank you to the person that made the comment. Yep, Russell Brand, absolutely. Absolutely one of them. Okay? So the person that mentioned David Icke, thank you, because everything happens for a reason. And the fact that that popped up on the screen and I saw it, because I can't always keep up with the comments, guys, but I try my best, you know. But the fact that that came up means it was meant to be discussed. Okay. Yeah, Nicola, I know where he lives, and he is the head of the Freemason cult there. Okay. So yeah, I can tell you horrific stories about what he's done to survivors. So moving on, but let's do a live again soon where I can give you some information maybe on these people that have got huge followings. Yep, Sharon, look at David's eyes and his hands. Yeah, he's a shapeshifter, you can see, but I don't want to diverse too much today. Well, Sophie, if they're both working with Icke, then that's shocked me. Then I don't know what to say to that. I will give them that much of the benefit of the doubt and say, well, maybe they're in ignorance of who he is. The thing is as well, people that are fighting against satanic ritual abuse, Sasha Stone, bad guy, same. I mean, you're popping up names. I'm going to respond to you, okay? If I see them. Sasha Stone, absolutely no. No. Again, look at him. Trust your instincts. Okay. Shaz, I will go into more about shape-shifting on another live, but there's plenty of information on the SRA page about that. Okay. It's connected to the reptilians. Trust your instincts, guys. Okay. If you have the courage to support someone like me and to read the testimonies and to listen to our stories, you are courageous people. That tells me you have good instincts. Okay. Trust them. Trust them. Question things. Use your critical thinking. Okay. Christine, I'm not arguing about that. John Wedger is a good guy. I'm not disputing that. But if he's working with Ike, I'm not happy about it. Charlie Ward, absolute paedophile. Paedophile. He used to supply children. Okay. No, Charlie Ward, terrible. So let me just have a look. Yeah, okay, Anna. Yeah, I know. You see, the thing is now, and I'm so pleased about this, there are so many more supporters that are wanting to learn more. So I absolutely want to help you learn more. But obviously we have to be... Oh, Belinda McKenzie, she's amazing. Belinda McKenzie's amazing. An incredible woman. So basically, look, I need to do more lives and we need to learn more. You need to learn more. But listen, there are so many people that are speaking out now. Just do some research. Go and listen to survivors, even on Tanya, please don't worry. You know, I know it's hard when you learn the truth. You know, you're saying you used to follow Ike, and it is a shock, you know, because so many people follow him. Please don't give yourself a hard time about it. Okay. It's all a learning curve. You're not expected to know. Max Egan is controlled opposition, Tanya. He's controlled. He's paid. He gets paid to gather information. Another wrong one. You don't even... yeah, Sophie, I totally agree that Laura Nina is a vicious troll. What a shame, because I actually used to think she was a nice person at one point. But there you go. You learn, don't you? Even I have to. You know, even I come unstuck with trusting people and thinking they're on the right path, and then you just see a horrible side to people and you realize you got it wrong. It's okay. It's okay. I make these mistakes. Much better at not making them now, because I had to learn the hard way, you know, trusting people. But as far as the big names that I'm talking about, the likes of Laura Nina, I mean, she's a nothing, but the people I'm talking about that, you know, that actually matter, the big names, they're the ones that, you know, people really struggle with. But they're the ones that insiders like myself, growing up in a cult, and, you know, many other survivors that have been so brave and courageous and naming these abusers. They're the ones that you can actually know are speaking the truth, because we saw it with our own eyes. You know, we were raised around these people, which is why I've been able to out the royal family, because I was a victim of the royal family. So it's the survivors that know this stuff, you know. So yeah, listen, with all there's a lot of names popping up that are just you know, hold on a second. Look, Laura, what if you don't like what I do? Go away. What? I mean, what's wrong with people that they feel they have to sit here and watch on something? How dare I make money out of this? Are you joking? Honestly, just go away and do something useful. Let me just hold on a second. It's so incredible how people want to waste their day actually listening. You know, why are you even here? Do something useful. Go out and do something to protect children. I just don't understand why, you know, there's plenty of other things. Anyway, Joe, I'll leave you to deal with that. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. But let's just get rid of Laura Nina. She's pathetic. Right. So guys, listen, just with inspiration, what we are doing is working. Okay. There's so much good stuff going on behind the scenes as well. And yeah, Jade. Laura doesn't want to be unprogrammed. No, but she wants to attack people that have been. I mean, does it get any more nasty than that? Do you know what the thing is? This is the thing that blows my mind. Survivors like myself that are actually talking out. Don't worry, Vivian. It's lovely to see you. Thank you, admin. You know, survivors like myself that are actually talking out. If we get attacked by high up or low down, you know, ask yourself, why are they doing that? You know, why are they doing that? It tells you so much about that person, doesn't it? It tells you so much about that person. We are literally putting our lives on the line to fight for children. Anyone that tries to stand in our way, what does that tell you about them? Think about it. So yeah, moving on. So guys, the light that's coming, that's here, you know, that's growing and growing and growing. Just keep adding to it. Just keep adding to it, because we're winning. Okay, we are winning. So we've had a little bit of a diversion today with obviously me answering questions, because there's a lot of confusion out there, isn't there? And I know, I understand that. There's a lot of people that have woken up of late to the truth of satanic ritual abuse. Think about it again in this logical sense, okay? The more survivors speak out, the more light we are bringing down on the planet, the more the darkness is going to fight. And it comes in so many shapes and form, you know. You could have someone that isn't a Satanist, isn't in a cult, but is really traumatized or messed up in other ways. The darkness will come through them. They will use them. We've just seen an example of it. So it gets harder if you allow it to affect you, okay? These silly people, trolls, whatever, they're not Satanists, they're just trolls. Ignorant, whatever, I don't even know. Was so many words for them, but they don't affect me. They do not even come close to my being, because I live in my truth. I live in my truth. You will see stories, lies everywhere about survivors, okay? Everywhere, because they're trying to stop us. And how do they stop satanic ritual abuse from coming out? They discredit the people that are talking about it. Survivors. So many survivors have to go through really horrible times because we get discredited. And as children, we were tortured to stay silent. So when we then get attacked for our voices, it's a wicked thing to do. but we're far stronger than people give us credit for sometimes, you know. So yeah. Annie, cockroaches hate the light. Isn't that the truth, eh? Right. So I wanted to just come and touch base with you all today. I'm so proud of what I've been watching online whilst I haven't been doing lives. I'm so proud of all the good work that you are all doing, whether you are a survivor or a supporter. The love that I receive daily that keeps me going and keeps carrying me and carrying me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And you know what? I know now, if anything happened to me, it's okay, because I know that it's good. The work's done. You know, I know that there's in it. Sorry, I don't know how to find the words to say this. I know that I've done my part in the way that SRA has been exposed. SRA has been exposed. And that brings me so much inner peace, because I don't know what's around the corner, you know, no one does. And I have got a target on my back, you know, but I know, yay, Krishna, I love that. The fight will carry on. We are your arms and legs, Jeanette. Exactly. Jane, don't worry about worrying about me and what you tag me into, you know. I will die happy if that's what happens to me, because I know that I've done what I came here to do. Okay. Yeah, Chloe, just get rid. Don't hesitate. So I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. But I cannot stress enough, keep it going. Keep it going, okay? Keep sharing, keep speaking about it, keep talking about it. Because we are winning. We are absolutely winning. Yeah, thank you, Linda. I believe that, you know, that I'm safe. The light is in my corner, because I know that the truth is the light. And all I've ever done is speak the truth from what I can do with my memories the best I can. And that's all I've ever done, is my absolute best. And I struggle. I know you see a strong person through this screen, but I'm still a survivor of SRA. I still have to fight my programming every day. I still have to fight my memories of torture every day. You know, I have to fight my MK Ultra programming, which is what they triggered back in January. They knew what they were doing. They triggered my MK Ultra programming, which is why it took me time to be able to realign. Let's put it that way. They can't beat me, because my light is stronger than their darkness. That's it. So I will fight on, and I will carry on doing what I'm doing. What I actually really want to say as well today is a huge thank you to all the survivors that are coming forward and trusting the SRA admin team and myself to now put their own testimonies out there. I know how much courage that takes. It takes so much courage. So thank you to the survivors that are finding that courage right now, because your contribution to this fight by just speaking about the horrors that you went through is having such an impact and encouraging other survivors. You see, this is the you know, the snowball effect. Oh, for years and years I sat alone with this. For years I didn't even know what it was called, you know. I was in my early 30s when a really good friend of mine, who is just the most incredible woman, and she's a therapist, and she actually said to me, Jeanette, I think what you went through is called satanic ritual abuse. I didn't even know it had a name. I thought it was just my family, and that was normal. So to go from that, where I was so completely alone in the world with my memories, to now seeing this movement, the momentum, the exposure, seeing their darkness scurrying, because believe me, they're scurrying. It's just incredible for me. It's incredible. I can't even comprehend it. You know, some days I just sit here so overwhelmed by it. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful, because now I know, now I can rest easy. I'm not putting down my sword, believe me, but I can rest easy in some regard, just some small little part of my heart. I know now that we're over the hill and we're winning. I've never doubted we would. I'm just so glad that I'm in a position where I can actually witness it. So just a huge thank you to every single one of you for your part you're playing in it. So guys, just on final note, really, it's Halloween coming up, and it's a terrible time of year. And sorry, I do struggle to talk about this. In my experiences, from around the 24th of October to, I'd say, around the 3rd to the 4th of November, there are survivors out there that have much better knowledge than me with things like this. But my programming really is difficult for me with timings. So roughly that period of time for me is horrendous. Children and babies are being prepared for the big date, 30th or 31st. There will be children, as I'm speaking now, that are going through what I went through, chained up in barns, being held underground, being prepared, being starved, being cleansed, all the terrible things they call it. And we've got to keep fighting. I'm sorry, I can't talk about it too much. but I know you know. Thank you, Paul. I know you know, and if you are new to learning about satanic ritual abuse, please take the time over the next few days to read the testimonies on our page that are about Halloween. There's some incredibly brave survivors that have asked me to put their stories out. And please honour them by reading what they've written. Floor, you've asked, what should we do, Jeanette? Expose the truth. Expose it in any which way you can. Expose it. If you pray, pray for these children. Light candles. Ask the heavens in whatever way you speak that, whatever, you know, to come and help them into the light. Do not celebrate Halloween. Don't dress your children up. Don't take them out trick or treating. You are supporting the satanic rituals. You see, people think, well, it's harmless because I'm just having some fun with my children. But do you know what? It's not harmless. What you don't understand is the demonic energy is everywhere in this period of time. And when you dress your children up and you take them out and you celebrate Halloween, you are allowing your children to be a target for the demonic energy, because they recognize the vulnerable ones. So if you've got parents that are saying to their children, no, absolutely not, we do not celebrate Halloween because we do not invite demonic energy into our lives. Okay. If you've got all that fixed to keep your children safe, the demonic energy knows you're a tougher target. Stay in the light. Don't align with the darkness. It is their ceremony. It is their rituals. So please do not join in. Every single thing you do for Halloween has got satanic purpose behind it. So don't do it. I know it's terrible to have to, you know, tell your children or teach your children about these things, but this is the world they're living in. You've got to keep them safe. So that's what you can do. And on those nights, even now, right through to the beginning of November, just light candles, say prayers, send out your love, you know. That energy, believe me, that energy reaches them. It does. A big part of satanic ritual abuse is energy. It's demonic energy. And they release it around this planet a lot. And on these dates, well, it's big. The demonic energy is big. So stay in the light in every single way you can. You know, talk to your children in a way that's age appropriate, because the thing is, if you do overwhelm them with too much information and fear, and they become anxious, they are then vulnerable to demonic energy. It's such a hard balance, isn't it? Because they do need to know the truth, but just be careful with how you do it, because also other children, all children are individuals. Some children are born to hear this truth. Other children are very vulnerable, and everything in between. Okay. Know your own child. Keep them safe. And you'll know, instinctively, you'll know when to give them these little bits of information. Okay. I had to do it with my own. And I'm a survivor of this stuff, you know. You just drip feed and you work it out bit by bit. Trust your instincts. Don't bombard, because if children become anxious and fearful, they are vulnerable. They are then a target for the demonic energy, because they love vulnerable and anxious. Anxiety is fear. They see it. So keep your children happy and healthy. Have open conversations, but keep them feeling safe in the world as much as you can. Okay. So guys, let's get through Halloween by doing all the right things. Okay. And yes, please honor the testimonies that are going on the SRA page that have started already in the last couple of days, and there will be more to come. Please read them. Please learn. Where if you read something or you see something and you want to avoid it because it feels like too much, I want you to think for a moment about how it feels to go through it and how it's feeling for the children that are going through it right now. Because reading it, believe me, is not even comparable to how it feels to go through it. Okay. I will be back soon. But I just want to say again and just end on the note of gratitude. I'm so, so grateful that we are winning this war, and that there is so much support for survivors of satanic ritual abuse. It's taken a lot for us to all do what we've done. And you guys now carry the batons with us. We fight this war together, and we are going to win, because the light will win. The truth is the light. Nobody can take that from us. Nobody can ever take your truth away. Once you know who you are and you know what your own truth is, never ever let anybody instill doubt or fear into you for believing in who you are. Just trust your instincts with everything, okay? Because there's a lot of bad doings going on social media. There's a lot of misleading going on. Stay strong in your own truth and your own light. And if somebody gives you a bad vibe, trust it. Your body will not lie to you. Your body will feel darkness quite often before your mind recognizes it, okay? Your body is a guide to who's okay and who isn't okay. Trust it. I fought for years and years and years to find my voice and to speak my truth. There is nothing that hasn't been thrown at me to stop me. The wickedest of the wickedest things have been said about me on social media. And it will carry on because that's the nature of the beast. But I stand strong in my truth and my light. Nobody can take that away from me. Nobody. And when you stand strong in your truth and your light, nobody can take it from you. That's your inner peace. That's the part of your soul within your own heart where you can go and find your inner peace no matter what is going on around you. And when you give that to yourself, nobody can take it from you. And that's how we win this war against the darkness. Stay in your own heart space. Trust your soul. Trust your body. If you're reading something and it's negative about a survivor, delete it. Because once you're drawn into it and you feel that negative energy, you're letting it win. You're letting it take a part of you. All that matters, the only thing that matters, is that we stop satanic ritual abuse and the children on this planet are able to live safe, free, happy, at peace, with joy, with enough food to eat, with enough love in their life, with roofs over their heads. They shouldn't be suffering. They certainly shouldn't be going through satanic ritual abuse in any way, shape, or form. That's what we fight for. That's all that matters. So keep on doing whatever it is you can do. Okay? Thank you. Every single one of you. Thank you. And I will see you again soon. Probably the other side of this dark period. But let's create as much light as we possibly can in this next week, please. Okay? My love is with all of you. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. And thank you so much for all the love that comes my way every day, especially since January. Gratitude and your own inner peace. Don't let anybody disturb it. We are going to win this war. And we are winning. We're over halfway, by the way. Okay? We win. The light wins. Okay. See you all soon. Bye for now.
All right. That was actually, I played that back from a few days ago on Facebook, and I don't mean that. I'm not sure who that is. So I don't want to put anything up that I haven't already listened to. She is the actual leader for the SRA Survivor. I was trying to go back to it to see, because I want to give you her name. But this guy keeps coming back on. Yeah, there's But anyway, that's a real story from one satanic ritual survivor, that she was raised in that, in a satanic family. She was actually abused by the royal family, and she's exposing these people. And in January, she actually held a huge rally outside of Buckingham Palace so that she could expose these pedos for what they are, and they're even worse than pedos. So, the weirdest thing happened. I was supposed to come on was supposed to come on here earlier with on Nikki's 38th channel, and we were supposed to do John Walsh or the reading of the Adam Walsh book, but I think she probably went trick or treating or something with her son because I think she forgot too because the thing went up there, the link. But I actually had to go in there and tell her I wasn't able to come up there tonight. There, like my cat passed away last night or this early this morning, right after midnight, and it was just like such a shock because she's like only 4. She's not that old, and literally she was fine right before that. She was sitting behind me with my on the recliner. You know, she was sitting behind my head. She was sitting on my lap. Um, and then later we went looking for her, and she literally could not move, and she would hunch down in the hall, and I picked her up and put her on the bed, and she was just like staring at me and like not blinking. Like she almost like she was like hypnotized or something, or I don't know, like some kind of a so weird. But when I would open her mouth, she would like kind of like leave it open. She wouldn't even try to close it. Like it's almost like her muscles or something weren't working properly. But anyway, it declined very rapidly. I tried to put her up to the air vent, like so that more air would be blowing in her face so that she could like have fresh air. And she still was struggling. I picked her up and I was holding her in here, and then like she really started like gasping for air, like really bad. And I was crying, ugly crying, bad, and like she is like just more than a cat. And I mean, she's like a dog, a cat dog. Like she played fetch, and like she laid on my husband's feet most of the time, or half the night she did, and then the other half the night she came over here on me and like laid on a little tiny corner of the bed that she could barely even sit on, and she would just lay right there. And like at night, I mean, how many times I would get up to go to the bathroom, she would literally get up every single time. And she would just go sit in there and wait for me to pee and come back in here and get back in the bed. And if I was in my room and I'd go in the den, she'd follow me in there. Or if I was in the den and Taylor in the room, she'd follow me in here. And it's just that, like, I do stay home a lot because I have lupus and I don't get out much. And literally, like, that cat was more than a cat. It was like my therapy cat and my friend. And, like, I just really, really loved her. And I've had a lot of animals in my day. I have. And of course, you're closer to some animals than you are others. You love them all, you know, but there was just something different about her. And like, I'm still in shock, honestly, because, you know, she wasn't sick or anything and it came out of nowhere. I think if she would have been sick and I would have, like, known about it, you know, and, like, had time to prepare myself, like, I probably would have handled it just a little bit better. But I pretty much slept in the bed the whole day and just, you know, slept today. But I was so tired. I was so worn out last night from crying. That just makes me tired. So anyway, I just had to share that. And that's why I didn't go on the channel earlier. But anyway, so I'm just going to get off and tell you that I love you. And no matter when you see this, know that truth always outshines the darkness. And the darkness can't comprehend it. Right? Have a good night and love you. Hope you come back. And I always forget this. Always. Literally. Please hit subscribe and share just because of the algorithm. I don't get money. I don't get monetized or anything like that. But it has to do with the algorithm and how many people get to view it. And I think a lot of people need to see certain things. So please share this and hit like or hit not like if you don't like it. Either way. All right. Have a great night.